Stefan Mihaly with nationally known and highly respected pollster John McLaughlin. John, can we go back in time a little bit to the 2016 campaign with President Trump? You saw something that literally every national pollster and everyone across the country didn't see, that President Trump would be victorious. What were your thoughts on the 2016 campaign?
Well, actually, my old friend Dick Morris introduced me to Trump in like February of 2011. And Trump was thinking of running against Obama. And we spent a month writing a plan.
Really?
And I kept on saying to him, I'd worked for Steve Forbes and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Fred Thompson. I said, at some point they're going to pull your TV show off the air. So we spent a month writing this plan. And President Trump decided, well, he was then Donald Trump, and he says, I guess he got some information that his highest rated reality TV show, Celebrity Apprentice, would be pulled off, and he wasn't ready for it, so he didn't run at the time. But he had strong opinions, and he was really, when he first announced, the establishment attacked him because he said, there's a problem with the border, a problem with immigration, and there's a problem with tariffs and manufacturing. We're losing jobs. And he connected with working Americans then. And, the establishment, they were like, they thought they could beat Hillary Clinton running joyfully. You can't beat Hillary Clinton running joyfully. So Donald Trump, he had the fight and he had the issues that I thought he could beat Hillary Clinton. And that was really important for the country, because we'd be a very different country if she had won and we had lost.
Now let's fast forward to this past election. You saw the data let's start with President Biden. Mm-hmm. When you're looking at your polling data, what was jumping out at you about his reelect?
The disapproval on his policies. At some point in the late summer of 21, first year of his term, when inflation, they were passing these spending bills. They were spending trillions of dollars we didn't have. That was inflationary. And then the moment was when they surrendered to Afghanistan. That's the one thing an American president is not supposed to do, is actually surrender to terrorists. And at that point, Donald Trump went ahead in the national popular vote, and he never looked back.
What data did you see with Kamala Harris where you thought, from a polling perspective, okay, she's in trouble?
She was always disliked and always thought of his vice president, where at some point they tried to recreate her without letting her talk to the press and putting her out there. But once she, said, like, for example, on The View, she said, is there anything that you would do differently than Joe Biden? She said, not one thing. And that was a moment that we had video that made a lot of other video that we had when she was talking about how good Bidenomics was, and other things, other cultural issues as well as economic issues, that we could put the video out there and say, she's telling you she's going to cut taxes. She's not. She's going to raise taxes. She was the deciding vote on those spending bills that caused inflation that we were talking about. So it validated a lot of the things that the legacy media was not talking about. They were trying to recreate her, and we were able to get the truth out to the voters.
Last question for you now. When it comes to President Trump, I mean, we heard that the entire campaign, even days before, there's no way he was going to win. It wasn't going to be a landslide. What did you see in the data that you conveyed to President Trump, like, it's going to be okay?
We were always ahead. Like, literally, at the end of the campaign, when we talked like 8 days out, I said, just make your putts, we're going to win. We were on target. He was working really hard. He was out there with the press. But really, think about everything they threw at him. He's a historic figure in American history, where he basically, they tried to impeach him twice. They tried to take away his business, bankrupt it. They tried to put him in jail. I mean, felony counts with 4 different prosecutions that are all politics. By June of 24, 6 out of 10 Americans thought it was all politics. They thought Joe Biden was behind it. They thought they was just doing it to stop him from running for president. And then, by the grace of God, he survives an assassin's bullet and another attempt. And he was just determined and steady, and he truly believes in this country. He's very patriotic, and President Trump really was upset about them undoing his policies and having a decline in America. And he really believes that we should be the greatest country on earth, and we should do a lot better than we've been doing for the last 4 years. So he was on a mission to basically win the election so he could put us on a course where America is once again safe, strong, and prosperous.